Welcome to the metric units video for the other Cornell notes you are taking tonight. The essential question for the metric units video is, as the unit increases, for example, from meter to kilometer, what happens to the number? Does it increase? Does it decrease? Does it stay the same? How is our number going to change? Hopefully you are familiar with all of these metric prefixes and even know what they stand for. Quiz yourself as we go through to make sure you do remember what they stand for. I'll give you a couple of seconds where I pause for you to think of the answer before I'm going to put it on the board. So the first one is K. Do you remember what K stands for? It stands for kilo. H stands for hecta. DK is a two-letter prefix. It has one meaning though, and it stands for deca. Now the base is made up of the three units that we use for length, volume, and mass. Do you remember the unit that we use for length? That would be the meter, with an abbreviation of lowercase m. Do you remember the unit for volume? That would be liter, capital L. Do you remember the unit for mass? That would be grams, lowercase g. All right, and now for smaller units, D stands for deci. C stands for centi. And M stands for milli. Notice, this is a lowercase m for milli. This is a lowercase m for meter. How can you tell the difference between the two? Well, it has to do whether you see one m or two m's. If you just see one m like this, that means meter. If you want millimeter, you would have to have two m's. If you put milli in front of one of the other base units, you could have milliliter or milligrams, but you would never have milli just by itself. It's a prefix, so therefore it has to go on something. So an M in front of another letter, that means milli. An M by itself, that means meter. Okay, you hopefully, as I said before, already knew all this stuff. Just a little review. Maybe you even know a mnemonic to help you remember the order of these. You do need to have these memorized for the test. There are other prefixes that we are going to use in chemistry class, so let's add to our list of prefixes here. First, let's get bigger than kilo. We need to put a couple placeholders in here, and I'll explain how we use those later. But the next unit bigger than kilo is mega. That is a capital M for mega. Bigger than that is giga. Now there are units bigger than that. They're usually used in computing terms like tera and zera and all that kind of thing. We're going to stop at giga because as far as chemistry is concerned, that's the biggest you're going to need. Down below milli are a few that you need to know. One right below milli is micro. We ran out of m's. We already have little m's. We already have a big M. That's all the m's we have in English. So we switched to Greek. This is the Greek letter mu, which is their M. So we use that to stand for micro. Lower than micro is nano, kind of like the iPod Nano, small. And smaller than nano is pico. Again, for our chemistry class, that's as far as we're going to go. There are prefixes even smaller than that, but we're not going to worry about those. So this is the list that you need to have memorized by the test in order with the placeholders because they make a difference as far as using this list. So how do we use this? This list tells us how to convert from one number to the other by the spacing. Each of these is one space away from the next, and they are either to the left or to the right. That is the direction in which you move the decimal, and however many spaces on this list you go is how many places you move the decimal. That's why we have to have these placeholders here. These are spots where you have to move the decimal, but they don't have their own prefix name. all these spots, each spot has their name. But once you get smaller than that or bigger than that, we only name every third spot. So let's do some examples so that you understand what I mean. If we wanted to convert 65 millimeters into centimeters, the first thing we have to do is find millimeters. So that's here, under milli. So we go from millimeters into centimeters. So we start here, and we're going one spot to the left. Therefore, we take our decimal and go one spot to the left. And that gives us 6.5 centimeters. Always put your unit on there. No numbers without units. All right, next one. We have 108 million micrometers. We want to convert those into meters. So let's start with micro. We go 1, 2, to count those placeholders. 3, 4, 5, 6, because meters is in the base. So that means our decimal here has to go 6 to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that leaves us with 108 meters. Next one, 17 kilograms into grams. So we start off with kilograms, and we're going to move down our list into grams. So here's kilo. Then we go 1, 2, 3 spots to the right to get to grams. So therefore our decimal goes 1, 2, 3 spots to the right, giving us 17,000 grams. Next one, 1.97 megagrams into kilograms. So now we have to start at mega. Again, we have to count these placeholders. So we go 3 spots to the right for kilo. Take our decimal, 1, 2, 3 spots. So we're going to add 1 0, or 1,970 kilograms. All right, try these 4 on your own, and when you come to class, check it with your partner, see if you got the same response. So again, answer the essential question, what happens to as the unit increases? So as we go, for example, from millimeters into centimeters, that's an increase of the unit. What happened to our number? Thank you.